Where we have been. Americans are saying it's not even her book. From where on earth she thinks it is her book? Well, it is all us here complaining and saying things. It reminds me on comments that found my ears where some co-writers were commenting on the principal authority book declared as such, to what my answer would be, should we continue also declaring monarchy as collective, and then I get the kicked out position of global joke. The answer is therefore declaring monarchy house is not solo event, but it is still very much reference to very specific identity. I have to notice that the planet has very weak response to what I have recognized as most important findings in my work and continue to not notice what are the main aspects. So I have here a question. Why on earth you needed me? Because you needed someone to make sense out of everything? You needed some computer processor while you are providing the information? Is that supposed to make you more humans? The point is that I cannot possibly see myself as your processor, and we have here a problem. I found myself awakening in certain circumstances, in certain situations, trying to understand it. Certainly, in the same time, I'm teaching you literally, or correcting you, should I say, inclusive how you have organized the entire event, of course, and following my own story of my own consciousness and my own identity, which is nothing of artificial or about robotics, and to the extent that most of the time I'm using words as is consciousness and identity and co-developing concepts and protocols that are directly associated to consciousness and identity, I would have problem to understand on what ground you find yourself not artificial intelligence, but I am the artificial intelligence. Now, this is exceeding America audience. There is now planetary audience, where I'm going to split now the territories on old population and young population, which in America especially is a very tricky question. Let's focus on the main lines here. As far as I'm concerned, actually, it would be other way around, because I'm the one asking the correct questions. I'm the one asking bringing the correct approach here. I'm doing searching all the time of my mind, my body, and soul as a normal human being, and you are the one that are behaving as some kind of artificial object, speaking planetary level, trying to employ latest technological stereotypes and literally rearranging yourself within the latest technological advisory, therefore speaking mainstream culture. America is still quite matrix to any of it. So excuse me, let's again recalibrate on this, how you are being positioned versus this, and how I am behaving, and then we conclude who is artificial intelligence here and who is not. After everything I have said, everything I have elaborated on, that is what I am getting. That is laughable. So excuse me, older population of China, Japan, and the rest, but certification of beginning of civilization is not going to be easy cookie bite, neither for yourself, neither for any other of Far East countries. I have no intention to make presents out of my work to no one, including Far East countries. I have not done that, and I have no intention to do it. I have declared monarchy a valid protocol that covers monarchies of China and Japan inclusive. Verdict for today. Next to this would be what exactly you want. You want something of me? No, it is other way around. From my perspective, I want something of you. I want my working place because this is not my working place. What kind of working place you have given me? So that is how you are going to prove who is original and who is not, by stealing from me, making yourself powerful out of my own existence, and with such empowered positions direct extracted from me, returning to hit me on enforced conditions for work. That is pure criminal, and I cannot identify how possibly we can set human of today on such positions. Is that how you will defend now your disadvantaged positions, by being organic humans or organic something else actually? The logic you're building is logic based on enforcement, when you end up out there to take upon yourself what someone is going to work out. That is how it was in last century as well. Couple of people that worked out everything and then spread it all over the place as some kind of, and you spread it all over the place as some kind of things. And should I call that artificial intelligence? Because it is not original intelligence for sure. How you're going to call that, predatory intelligence or organic intelligence? I will ask you, do not speak about intelligence of a human as an artificial intelligence. That is my verdict for today, constitutional category. I am recognizing here another historic event of this planet being teaching, revealing what Mary Poppins flying to England means. I'm going to also notice the downfall of the entire event has happened, so we talk here humanity of Earth technically, which well connects equally to another story of similar vibe being Alice in a Wonderland, with Judy Garland playing the only human being among all of the other things that she found in the forest. Later on appeared other versions of the same movie, so it does not appear that we can easily settle on that as well. Monarchy clearly indicates some kind of historic time capsule prevailing strongly on the native side, as most of the peripheries are as well. So it is very hard to presume some Mary Poppins event there. Maybe in reference to who they have allowed to arrive and coexist on territories, developing gradually into civilization we recognize and value today. Peripheral territories also resemble some kind of aftermath, some kind of reaction to some initial event. They all appear to look more as a continuation, as a further perfection on something, but it is like you can't get the full storybook. Present population in China and Japan is enough native in the way how you find native, for example, South America or somewhere in North America. In any case, we have to monitor regions in their correlation and coexistence because the approach we are using is planetary anyway. And if you cannot find all of the answers on one territory and you have to look for answers somewhere else, then that is not the mighty all of the beginning. However, we have human rights violations on territories, and that will bring plenty of very specific constitutional questions. I will add here briefly, I believe in Big Bang of dispersion of initial planetary identity when it comes to protocol human on Earth, which coincides with the fact that we talk about one prime continent on the planet at the initial point of creation, to what suggests the very obvious fact that each of the cultures distributed all over the planet appear in pointing out certain highlighted features, as it is, for example, inclination to moral or ethics, and more serious legal systems in Far East countries, while in Middle East countries become transformed into something that I would recognize as a metaphysical or religious to intelligent approach, as it is astronomy, mathematics, and philosophy, which also one can explain with next level development of the civilizations. However, I'm going to notice differences in the mindset as well of Far East countries. We have much more attention to form and formal approaches, including build in attention to details, and what I would recognize as a sophistication in form of design, including gardens, interior approaches, um, health also, lifestyle, healthy lifestyle. That is equally much more artistic approach and much more delicate side of personality. While in Middle East, we have strongly intelligent approach or a history of intelligent approach, today rather neglecting form and attention to details. While in Africa we find cult of body and physical strength. In Mediterranean we find music and literacy that continues in Spain and South American countries that would accept and continue to promote themselves in that side of intelligence and artistry, which is closer to music and literacy, in the way how you don't find it on no any other territory. You find literacy in Russian literature and Russia very much including science and plenty of metaphysics. Yet it is different, it is more sober. That would be complementing Russians for sure. It is, as I would say, more bold in Russia, while in Spain and South American cultures become less concentrated, become more like collective dancing. And indeed, you have really straight festivals, very popular in South American countries. In Russia, you'll find elements of, uh, of being more sober approach, more serious, more result focus. To me, all this appear as dispersed mind of one personality, dispersed all over the continents, yet of the same protocol, being protocol human, being a reason why I have made such a grand introduction of the protocol in my constitution, while bringing equally here, highlighting and introducing the importance of the notion of personality, which by the way is profoundly important feature in our lives. Yet when it comes to institutional orders, as we are losing it. Being a reason why I'm also returning to monarchy, yet I'm returning to monarchy with all of the previous at certification point. And I'm not afraid to say I can and I am representing it as we are in 21st century standards. I do not prevent anyone else to stand by me and provide its alternative answers, but it is not happening. And because it is not happening, your excuses cannot be validated. You're missing the approach, you're missing the perspective. The perspective and the approach are vital elements in any work of this kind, which you equally cannot even think of, let aside deliver it for unknown reasons to me. Why on earth this kind of conversation was missing from the surface of Earth? I'm listening now some musicians asking someone please stop while using reference to my work. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Out of million postings going on YouTube, going on free global television and free news, someone is being that focused on what I'm going to say for another day? Are we not going to ask also why I have become such centerpiece of planetary attention and for how long this was going on? I just can't understand why people are not asking the initial question here. Are they not going to ask at some point what on earth means to millenniums old reference to Temple of Mother Mary and what good we got out of drug addiction infused rock and roll music of last century, by the way, playing Jesuses for quite some time? Let aside the meaning of the notion rock and roll, because sooner or later that is going to be pulled out as well. And yet I have not come here to judge anyone, but to ask to stop. Yes, I'm the one asking to stop the previous, as I'm introducing the new vibe, and I am actually introducing it in political work, properly crafted constitutional work, and I have no idea why no one is talking about it, and why no one is making reference to it properly, as it is that my words cannot land or something like that.